sitting here with my McDonald's Grinch socks on. Yes, yes, I did it. Oh boy, getting everything in this year was such a task. But this is probably the last. It's Christmassy kinda, but I'm making my own wreaths. I had a couple places that I wanted some wreaths, and I wasn't in love with anything that I saw, especially, wreaths are not cheap. So I'm like, I'm going to make my own. So I'm going to share the process with you. Though these are kind of inspired for me to, like you've already seen the home tour, for to decorate my own home with, but you can always make different versions of these for different times of the year and an everyday wreath also. So simple and easy. That's what we're going for, because I was fitting these in right before Christmas, because I'm like, I don't want to show the Christmas tour until I have these done, because I want a wreath here and I want a wreath there, and hopefully they turn out. So not a space I usually do any crafting in my kitchen, but there I am soaking some jadeite bowls, trying to get some rust buildup off them. But I found this beautiful fabric. Well, I searched for it on Amazon. It's a homespun fabric in red, and then it has black stripes in it. That was the biggest thing. I like to decorate with red and white, and I would have loved green in it, but that wasn't the case. So I'm making a simple wreath. I was able to thrift a straw. I think it's been used. A straw wreath. And I'm hoping if I put shrink wrap back around it, I'll be able to use it, because the one that I'm going to do, I'm going to cut little squares of fabric and you push them into the straw wreath. That's what makes it so easy. We don't have to hot glue. So hopefully this works. And there's some big holes in there. So I'm just going to wrap it around. I think it'll be just fine, because the fabric's going to hide most of it. So if you look at one of these in the thrift store and you see something on it and you want to, this one just happened to be just like it was, and it was like a little moment, because I'm like, oh, I keep forgetting to order from Amazon or looking at Hobby Lobby to see if they have any, and next thing you know, there it was. I'm like, oh, thank you, I wanted one of these. Now I can make that wreath to come and go. I think that'll work. I think we got it. Yeah, I think that'll work. So now I think I got 2 yards of fabric, and I'm actually going to use pinking. Is that what they're called? Pinking shears. So hopefully that my fabric doesn't fray. Like, when you cut it straight across, you get all these little pieces, and I don't want that. I don't want it to do all that fraying. So first of all, I'm just going to cut a new line. So I'll have some fun decorative little edges on it. Okay, so now what I want to do is, I know once I poke it in, I'm going to lose fabric. So I think I'm going to do a 3" by 3". So I can get my guide. The nice thing about a line is like, oh, okay, well, that's 3 inches. So then I will just cut on that line. that line. And 3 inches by 3 inches. So there's my line again. And then I have a whole bunch of little squares to cut. I'm glad that I chose a line fabric, because that definitely makes it a little bit easier to cut, because you can see where you need to be, and then I can just pull it up and cut it. But yes, I need a whole lot of these. And then this one I actually need to cut in half, because this was the end that was folded. So my theory is I'm hopefully not going to get as much fraying, because I've done a version of this with drop cloth fabric, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I ended up having to use like a fraying spray, and I didn't want to have to really deal with it. I just want to get a pretty wreath up, and so I'm happy with that little space that I decorated. Okay, I'll be back when I get a whole bunch of squares done. This seems like a good amount, right? So we're just gonna get started. Now the tag's on the back, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So you just take your fabric, make sure I only have one, because it was double layered when I was cutting it. And I'm just going to take for my poking tool this little rounded edge scissors, because I have to poke through the fabric into the straw. So, well, not really poke through the fabric, but poke through that saran wrap and then leave that behind. So see that that's how it fits in there. And my theory was I don't know, these probably came in a thrift haul of some sort. I'm like, oh, those might work. I did grab another pair that is more pokey if these don't poke very well, because they're too blunt. I do have a pokier pair. You know, you kind of have to get going, get a rhythm going to see what will work for you. So I'm just trying to put it in the middle and then put it right next to each other. So it's one of those, you just put a movie on and then you poke away after you get all your squares. Yeah, see how like you thought 3 inches was, you know, like, oh, that looks a little large. Not by the time you get it poked in there. And I just happened to pick a fabric that was the same on both sides. I know some fabrics are not. Then I don't have to worry about which side I'm doing. Yeah, the sharper one's working better. The blunt one didn't really want to poke in there. So I'll just, yeah, it's going to take a lot of little squares, but I'm hoping that I love it so much that I want to use it year after year. But then again, being a reseller, you could, okay, well, I'm going to sell that next year. But with it being classic, like with the red and the black, it's great for Valentine's Day, 4th of July. We can definitely use it for 4th of July. I mean, you can add any type of a ribbon to it to change it for whatever season you want to change it to. But yeah, it's just, this is just how it's going to go. I'm just going to keep poking little pieces of fabric into the straw wreath. Well, at least I don't have to worry about hot glue yet. My second wreath that I'm doing today will have some hot glue. But there again, I'm looking for something easy and nothing too overly complicated. Okay, once I get my circle, I'll be back with you and show you what I do next. Okay, so now I have that much complete. Now I'm going to start to zigzag back and forth, meaning I'm going to put one over here, and then I'm going to come onto the other side and put another one, and put another one, because yes, we have to do the whole wreath. But it's like taking no time, because I already pre-cut them. The cutting's probably the hardest part, or the time consuming. It's not hard by any means. It's just a fun little rag wreath. And I do think the scissors help that I'm not getting a ton of strings. And some do poke in easier than others. Probably where I built up the saran wrap. Shrink wrap. You know what I mean. And I'm sure if you wanted them longer, then, not three, don't do them 3 by 3, do them 4 by 4, do them 5 by 5, do a bigger wreath, do whatever your little heart desires, right? And you could go around in a circle again, but I just thought if I zigzag it, then I feel like I'm accomplishing more. And then if I feel like they're falling out, I'm just going to tuck them in a little bit more. As I said, it's very forgiving. It helps if I do this. I can get going if I separate them all. You know, get a whole bunch separated because of them being double. When I cut them, they were doubled. That helps. I'm just going to flip it over and see if I see any holes like that you would see from the side. I don't even think this took me maybe an hour if you count the cut time of cutting the strips and pulling the little strips apart. Super simple, easy. And it's just pretty. It's a classic, I'm going to call it a DECOR wreath. So this is my next one. Coffee filters, though I think these are a little bit smaller. I don't think they're the great huge ones. And then just a wreath form. You can definitely thrift these. It's just one of the wired ones. And I'm going to need my glue gun because we're going to make a coffee filter wreath. Though I'm going to go while my gun is heating up. I'm going to start. It's always the separating would be helpful. So I'm going to get a whole bunch separated, and then hopefully my glue gun will be warmed up. Okay, so we're going to take one of the coffee filters. I'm going to put this little Sharpie in the middle. Try not to squish it too much. And then I'm going to put a little hot glue on the wire. And then I am going to wrap it around itself. Like that. And we're going to go down to the next one. Put the little glue. I should have done this first. I've already messed up. So a little bit of glue. Make a little point. Wrap it around. Oh, can you already see how pretty that's going to be? So basically I'm taking that little end point and wrapping it so it's kind of like attaching to itself. So there again, use that just to find the middle center. A little bit of glue. Take that, take the little tail, pull it through, and then glue it onto itself. So of course you could do a whole string down. I mean, you could various ways. I just thought, well, I'm going to try it this way because it's going to get quite full. My hopes anyway. And I'm going to try to butt it right up to the first one I did. take that, wrap it around, let glue sit on itself. That's why I said, like, sprawling out or laying out all the coffee filters first, definitely is one of those things that would help. And the coffee filter glues so easy because it's so porous. It's supposed to have filter coffee. So nothing difficult at all. And look at, you could color those. You could tip them in color. I'm just going to leave mine as white. But yeah, that's it. We're just going to keep working around. How pretty is this going to be? And everybody be like, those aren't coffee filters. Yes, they are. They are coffee filters. Sitting here with my McDonald's Grinch socks on. Yes, yes, I did it. And it's easier kind of to hold it in my lap and put a little bit of glue. That way I can have the force of gravity holding it down. Put that in there, fold it over. I'm going to knock on wood at this point that I have not even burnt myself yet. Try not to put too much glue on there. But it grabs a hold of itself so easily that it's not too big of a deal. I'm just butting them right up next to each other. I think they have natural color coffee filters too. I think I've made stuff with those before. 3/4. I don't, it is so simple. Oh my goodness. I'm sure I'm gonna get kind of a tight fit going on to that last little bit, but it's very forgiving. I told you they were easy. Super simple, big impact, can use year after year and season after season, like the red and the black, very neutral for the other holidays that have red in it, and that big poof. Oh, it's like a blank slate now. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to use it as the poof for it. Poof. It's poofy right now, so that's what I'm going to use it for. So thanks for watching today's video. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, because I know this is airing on Christmas Day. So I hope that you got to spend time with family and friends. I know not everybody gets to do it on the actual day. So I hope I gave you a little bit of entertainment for this evening. We will see you next time, guys, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye.